We've got a capacity crowd here at the United Center. It'll be the defending NBA champion Golden State Warriors and the Chicago Bulls. We're all set to bring you NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and on the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. And Golden State looking at who they've got. The defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots, and it's Barnes, and at the three, the small forward. Early on last year, it was clear Steph Curry was just on another level, was an MVP candidate right from the start of the season, and he would eventually be voted that award.
And I thought very deserving. You could see how he elevated his play, and so many of us and so much talk focuses on what he does offensively. But he was ahead of the snake of a terrific defensive group for Golden State a season ago, and that's one reason why he ended up being the MVP.
Now here's Bogut after the miss from Pau Gasol. Outside Curry. Green kicks to Curry. The three ball. That drops. Curry's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage in size.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one. And what a first year it was for Steve Kerr and the Warriors. It was the best debut as a new coach ever. 67 wins. He also established a franchise win total in his first year.
And it's sent back by Bogut. They retain possession. Bulls shooting their first free throws of the game.
Yeah, a year ago, though, Kevin, 78% conversion rate from the free throw line. So that's a nice all-around effort.
You know, something you can point to when you're talking about their areas of success last season, free throw shooting.
And he makes both free throws. And our old partner, Steve Kerr, also got a chance to coach the West All-Stars. And Greg, his record-setting debut season with the Golden State Warriors. Clark, he really hit a lot of big milestones early.
Well, none of us are surprised at his success.
No.
I mean, Steve will be the first to tell you it was because he was surrounded by excellent assistants. I mean, that's one of the underrated aspects of being a good coach is you've got to have a good staff, and Steve has that.
Excellent point.
Guys, that time he went for the fancy finish for us there, man. That was sweet.
Plenty of space. And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Joakim Noah's checked in for Gasol. Mirotic comes in for Taj Gibson. McDermott's checked in for Mike Dunleavy. And it's Brooks in for Derrick Rose. Spates checked in for the Warriors. Iguodala comes in for Barnes.
You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on, yet he's made it and made it big.
Sean Livingston, he's checked in for Golden State. Spates, the pass to Livingston. Fires for three. No good from Spates. And going back to Jimmy Butler, there were just so many times when he was set up to fail. He was not heavily recruited out of high school. He was even homeless when he was in high school in the Houston area. Went to a junior college, then Marquette, now in the NBA. So he played his freshman year at a junior college, which I think humbled him just a bit, but maybe gave him that work ethic that is so much Greg a part of his game now.
And Kevin, the talent was there. And most of all, as we see how he dealt with adversity, the heart was there. He blocked out the distractions and finally transferred to a major college and worked his way into becoming a first-round pick.
And released it in time, but it's off the mark. And the Gasol brothers, both starters in the All-Star game last season. It's the first time that's happened.
It's like a dream come true. It's hard to really...
Well, their story is a bit like a fairy tale, the way two of them, sons of medical professionals in Spain, have become two of the best centers in the NBA of this era.
Yeah, and especially, Kevin, when you remember what a raw talent and how big and bulky Marc Gasol was when he was drafted by the Lakers. who traded him to Memphis for his brother.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And taking a look at Chicago's performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
Defense paying huge dividends for them through the first.
Excellent hustle, and you know the coach has to be pleased with that effort at the defensive end.
So on the floor for Golden State to begin this second quarter. Iguodala out there with Festus Ezeli. Then there's Harrison Barnes. Then there's Stephen Curry. And it's Livingston in at the 2.
Guys, the Bulls defense was as stout as ever last season. A big part of that is they have guys that challenge you inside and at the rim. Even off the bench, all of their bigs are mobile and protect the basket.
Curry can't get it to go.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those 2 in the first quarter.
2 minutes, 2 Here's more. And again, Chicago, no good. Talking about the Bulls and their rim protection, they had the lowest opponent field goal percentage on shots right at the rim.
Yeah, and it helps when you compare 7-footers down low. It's not just the bigs, though. Even their perimeter players will track back and challenge at the rim. It's really a total team effort.
Some changes for Chicago. Saul comes in for Joakim Noah. And it's Portis in for Mirotic. And Golden State also making a change. Barbosa's checked in. Moore against Barbosa. And Leandro Barbosa gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Justin Holiday's checked in for the Bulls.
Justin Holiday.
So at Chicago now, they trail by 1. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off. 6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, no team able to build a big lead early on. I mean, it's tight.
Yeah, both teams still kind of feeling their way through this game.
Rose goes in, Holiday, and it's blocked by Curry. 1:15 left to play here in the second quarter.
He's always going to have a difficult time finishing when the defense is in his face like that.
Here's Dunleavy. No good. That's miss number 2. He's 1 for 3. And now here comes Iguodala leading the break. And that one's good. Barnes.
And another lead change here. How many of these are we going to have tonight?
I'm not quite sure, but I'm willing to bet it'll be more than a few.
Rose gets a wide open look. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. The Warriors have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. On its way from Curry for 2, and that'll be Golden State as it goes out of bounds. Warriors retain possession. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Taj Gibson's checked in for Portis. McDermott comes in for Mike Dunleavy. Jimmy Butler, he's checked in for Justin Holiday. And Brooks subbed in for Rose. There's 42 seconds left to play here in the half.
Chicago ball.
Thompson against Brooks. And Butler, here we go. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. And it's 6 points for Jimmy Butler.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Here's Clark. Brooks covering. Clark kicks to Spates. Knocks down the 3 ball. Spates has got his first 3 points of the game.
Yeah, it's such a sweet 3-point stroke there, and it can really open things up inside because as good as he shoots it, it forces the opposing bigs to have to step out on the perimeter. Really, the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Prevent the layup, give them a little bump, and then maybe they'll think twice about coming into the lane next time. And if they don't think about it, at least they might be distracted by your presence.
Second free throw, no good. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
The drive by Brooks. Green with the block. But they'll get another chance. Butler. No luck. And so it's a close game as we...
Hey, Kevin, with Dick.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We're going to break. It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. At the end of the period, they held a 4-point lead. They were outscored by just a bit in the second quarter as they go into the break now holding just a 1-point advantage. And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. One guy who's been getting it done so far, Stephen Curry.
And in terms of points in that first half, you know, he's now at a point where we expect him to perform that way.
And, Greg, that tells you all you need to know about what a talent he is. I mean, I'll bet he adds a lot more to his totals after the break.
Butler team to Dunleavy on the perimeter. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. And it's Rose in at the point guard position. And that's the group for Fred Hoiberg as we begin the second half.
And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back to his former self. At times last season, you could see him back in that MVP form.
Inside, wants to get it to Butler and does. Tipped away. And here we go with Thompson running it up the court. Curry with it. Now guarded by Gibson. For the 3. Curry with another miss. And Chicago shooting struggles apparent. 37% from the field. Rose double teamed. Gasol setting the pick for Butler. Here's Gibson. And there's a nice one-handed slam.
And that's such solid, fundamental basketball on display right there, guys.
You talk about it all the time, Greg. Yeah, great use of the pick to set up the dunk.
And, guys, it was a terrific understanding between teammates that made that possible. They really did read each other well there.
Chicago making some changes. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Gasol. And Mirotic subbed in for Taj Gibson. Andre Iguodala is checked in for the Warriors. Rose attacking. Second chance shot. A rebound by Iguodala. The Warriors trail. Green kicks to Iguodala. Back to Green. And the Warriors miss again.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Feeds it to Butler. Rose dishes to Dunleavy. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. They get it back. Pass to Rose. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got 3 assists in the game. Green, the pass to Thompson, and there's the feed to Curry. Lets the 3 fly. Curry with another miss.
Not a quarter to remember as far as his offense is concerned.
Yeah, you know, he's not making any kind of impact for them at that end of the court right now. A splendid pass that time by Rose.
Warriors trail by 7.
And with the time left, they still can go 2 for 1.
Boy, they've got to do it fast. They must hurry from here.
Doug McDermott, he's checked in for Chicago. Brooks comes in for Derrick Rose. Different look here for the Warriors. Spates checked in for Bogut. Rush comes in for Andre Iguodala. Clark, he's checked in for Klay Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. 2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. Here's Clark. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. It's Rush outside, and that is good. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. The drive by Brooks, and he banks in the layup.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Bulls lead by 6. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. The Bulls leading by 6 on the court for Golden State here in the fourth. Barnes and Green are the forward.